The following video has been approved by the Jetty marketing team. The video has been rated Jetty. The following video may not be suitable for all viewers. Good morning and g'day, mate. Welcome back to Dyson Sphere with me, Jetty. Now, because we're on our lovely little planet, Middle Earth, obviously I can't do a sunrise for you because, the sun's inside that sphere. But, you know, also inside that sphere. Yes, we're on our lovely Middle Earth planet for a couple of reasons. The reason we're starting here is last episode. Oh boy, last episode. Last episode, we ran out of space on good Go Big or Go Home. It's done. It's dusted. There is nothing left. I actually calculated it out. I could fit... Well, it turns out the last production line, I can't count, and I overbuilt by, 120 assemblers or something. But even then, if I attempted, I'd only get maybe another 120 assemblers in. It is turned on. As you can see, it's causing a few ships to go, well, everywhere. Yeah, there's significant ship traffic. In fact, if we go to production, we would like to look at entire star cluster. Oh look, we're only using 8 space warpers per second. 483 per minute. Yeah. Some numbers get scary when you look at them too hard. But what we're going to be doing today is we're on Middle Earth because I've got a couple of these ray receivers here, and these were originally doing power generation. To get Middle Earth up and running, it's a pretty boring planet. We were using it originally to fire off a couple of cannons, fire off a couple of sails, also mining for local resources. This is really where we started off. Getting some power up and running. It really bootstrapped this planet. But now, I really want to cover it in ray receivers, doing photon generation, because it's between two spheres. It has unlimited power. These things will never turn off. Like, we're in the polar night right now. 100%. 100%. 100%. It can get power from that sphere or that sphere. It's never, ever, ever going to run out of power. Which does mean a couple of things. It means I need to click on this, and I need to click on this, and I need to click on this, and then I need to hold the shift button and do this. Over the whole planet. Also, unfortunately, those are going to click yes on. Yes. 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 Oh, there's another one. Yes. That ship just left. I literally just saw a ship leave that one. I wonder if it got somewhere. Yes. Oh, look, there's a few more. Yes. 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 Oh, look, there's 10,000 accumulators on the ground. You know what? We should add just a few more. Don't forget the cannons. Yeah, we're just gonna, destroy everything on the planet. That's pretty much my objective for this episode. Just rip up everything, walk through the whole planet, side to side, top to bottom. Make sure that when I'm done, nothing exists. It's all a very, very blank slate. And then we're gonna put down just a ray receiver or two. Oh boy, this is going to make one hell of a mess. Oh, I missed those entirely. Yeah, and I don't even think I'm going to even attempt to gather it up. I was considering gathering it up, trying to see how much of it we can get into orbit. Except I've just realized exactly how much crap I'm going to have on the ground after I'm done. It's going to be a fair bit. I can't... Oh, there's more stuff over there. Yeah, just swipe around and, destroy everything. I'd really like to go to, like, the Go Big or Go Home planet and do the same. Oh, actually, probably my home planet. Because that has a lot of long spaghetti belts all over it. At the same time, you might notice the frame rate is still pretty bad. I did... Somebody had some advice to upgrade my drivers because their frame rate doubled when upgrading to the latest set of drivers. Tried that. Did nothing. I am unfortunately 100% CPU bound. As soon as I open up... Well, as soon as I open up this save of Dyson Sphere, my CPU goes, oh, look, we're going to run at max speed. And stay there. And never, ever, ever slow down. So, yeah, I'm at the point I need a faster CPU. And unfortunately, in the last 2 years, CPUs haven't got, well, if I'm running at 33 UPS, so up in the top left-hand corner, you can see frames per second followed by updates per second. So if I'm running at 33 UPS, that means I'm running at half game speed, which means to run at full game speed, I'd probably need a CPU twice as fast as what I've got. I haven't got twice as fast the last 2 years. They've got faster, but just not twice as fast. Let's be honest. We can all be honest and say, you know, maybe through rose-colored glasses, they've got 20% faster. I should really turn that on for you guys. I didn't realize how dark the dark side of the planet would be. Then, funny enough, it just hit midnight, so my lights just turned off in this room. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna finish deconstructing everything. I'll see you guys in a minute. Probably after I've worked out exactly where our first... Do I have any in my inventory? No, I've got everything but in my inventory. I will have a chat to you guys when I've worked out exactly where our first... well, actually, there's some at the poles. Hang on. Let's dump that. You just throw it out the back. Oh, look, there's a wall crack. Cool. That gives us something to start with. I want to go Dyson Sphere. Those, I want to probably start at the equator, which I just flew over the top of. And what we're going to do is, I'm thinking, this is subject to change, and subject to me testing some stuff out. But I'm going to want, okay, I'm going to want one there. I'm going to want one there. I'm going to want you set to photon generation. You set to photon generation. And then basically the plan is... Of course, ore gets in my way straight away. Berry. I want these as close to one another as... That's wrong. Try again, JD. And... just fly as far as I can this way. Oh, this is why I need to deconstruct the planet first, so things don't get in my way. But the plan is basically that. Then run out of there, down to the equator line, all the way back. How much belts that? That's 256 belts, about as long as I can blueprint down in one hit. Run into there, and then, you know, join all these up. And then hopefully I can get a blueprint of both the top and the bottom that I can use to, you know, build the rest of the planet. But the plan is going to be basically this. Just cover the planet with ray receivers. The funny thing is, same as we had already done on our... tightly locked rockets, which was pulling in our critical photons up until this point. They're going to be retired. Yeah, it's powered by suns, like the mini suns, because I don't want to actually waste the surface area for these guys to put out. Well, when they're fully upgraded and they get the max continuous receiving, they output 12 megawatts worth of power. I don't want 12 megawatts worth of power. I really want to have the 60 that these guys do, and then put down one of these guys for power, because they do 75 megawatts. So that's the plan. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to see you guys in a little bit after I put down potentially a lot of ray receivers, and finish ripping up, well, got most of the stuff on the planet. There's only 16,000 items littered across the planet. It's fine. It's fine. I do like how some of it glows at night. Every single one of those is a stack of accumulators. Every single one of those is 50 accumulators, just so you know. Actually, these ones are probably singles. It's the really bright ones that are larger. This is a stack. Yeah, okay, I'll see you guys in a sec. And I didn't get carried away at all. So here we are at the top of the planet, which has a few ray receivers. In fact, if we click on this, we are consuming 119 gigawatts out of 210 gigawatts. Yeah, I'm just over halfway. And planetary-wise, I'm also just over halfway. I still have the whole bottom side of the planet to do, but I honestly got bored of putting these things down. Yes, I did manage to get a blueprint. Funnily enough, let's go towards the middle. Funnily enough, if I could get... It did take some tweaking, but if I got a blueprint with just enough belt sticking out, well, the front, the other end, so it tagged perfectly onto this belt, I could literally place the belt, as long as it was one belt over, you know, one tile of belt over one tile of belt, I could just paste them down over and over and over. So it really sped it up. It did also make me slowly lose my mind. Because they're in dead straight rows, all the way around the planet, with random crap. Oh, I just saw, oh look, there's a bit of coal node sticking out somehow. Well, there you go. And the 10,000 accumulators that are still sitting right there on the ground. Yeah, I haven't clicked the cleanup button. I haven't been bothered. But yes, you can also see there are belts and belts and belts full of critical photons. In fact, I decided right from the get-go that this line, which starts here, by the way, and continues right the way around the planet, was going to have its own dedicated belt, plus this was going to have a dedicated belt, plus this was going to have a dedicated belt, plus this was going to have a dedicated belt. Then I moved up to the next slot, which dedicated belt, dedicated belt, dedicated belt, and so on and so forth. You sort of get the picture. Like, everybody gets their own dedicated belt into the towers, which has 10,000. Yes, and this one also has 10,000. And I've set up the North Pole. That's the South Pole. So we have the bare basics coming in for what I need on this planet, which is literally lots of ray receivers, lots of belt, a few ships, definitely the antimatter fuel rods, and that's about it. And then we're just mining all the resources. Literally just... Yeah. Oh, and landfill. Yeah, these are all set to... these are the leftover landfill. Yeah, I end up with like 40,000 left over in my inventory. Because the whole planet, you might notice, is now very, very white. It's been covered in foundations. Because I figured it should. It should be bright and shiny with 10,000 ray receivers on the planet. Actually, I did a count. I installed the other blueprint mod because it does counts. And... no, I can't remember. Somebody out there can probably do the maths and answer you in the comments section below. 119 gigawatts... well, 119 gigawatts divided by 62.5 megawatts, that's the answer. It's a lot. And the main reason we've done this is, one, so we have lots of critical photons, because they're going to be required for power. But it now means tightly locked rockets, which we need to go there right now. Any ray receivers I had on that planet can go. And actually have been cleared off already. If I can accelerate up to speed... Go. Can't even see where it is. It's through the Dyson Sphere somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yes, this whole sunny side of the map was covered in ray receivers, is now not covered in ray receivers. So I now have half a planet of which to play on. Which means I need to do a couple of production lines. Because our whole purpose, our whole project for this series, before I can call it done, before I can say I'm happy with it, is to build 30 rockets per minute. So I know I make people cry when they see how many tabs I have, or how many applications I have open. It's fine. My computer likes it. But over to Chrome really quickly. So this is the Factorio lab.github.io calculator. And we're down to the very last 3 products, okay? I need to make plane filters, to make quantum chips, to make small carrier rockets, okay? We've done everything else, okay? Out of the original production line, which... Let's just open that up in a new tab for a second and turn some of these things back on. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Copper, magnets, the whole works. Come on. Give us everything. Titanium glass, definitely. Glass. Cashmere crystals, processors, silicon... Oh, hydrogen. Can't forget the hydrogen. Graphene, carbon nanotubes. Yeah, that's... Apart from raw materials... Yes, that's the original production line, which only requires 21 gigawatts worth of power. And as you can see, some of the smelter numbers and assembler numbers are... Well, the assembler numbers are pretty reasonable at the bottom of the list, but as you work your way up... That is completely wrong. Ignore that one entirely. It is like 320 chemical plants. Well, much better than the 1440 that we actually need for nanotubes, which is correct. But yeah, this is the production line that we've had to make so far. And as I said, we're down to the last 3 items. We are down to the plane filters, only need 960 assemblers. Plus we need the quantum chips, only 240 assemblers. And then finally we get to make the small carrier rockets, which we only need 120 assemblers. So, going through the things that we need to do. First off, the plane filters. Now, plane filters are a horrible recipe. They take 12 seconds. They're just really slow. But the recipe itself is not too hard. If we set that to 30 items per second, being a belt's worth, it's only 240 assemblers long to make 30 per second, being a belt's worth. It's going to require 2 belts of titanium glass, 1 belt of cashmere crystals, and then 1 output belt of plane filters. So it's not that hard a recipe. It's just a very long recipe. I need to somehow get 240 assemblers in a straight row, ideally in a perfect world, to then get me a belt's worth. And both these items now need to come from another planet, so I'm also limited on my throughput. Basically, I can only do 1 of these per tower because I have a self-imposed limit, I guess you call it, of only having only pulling 4 belts, 4 30 item per second belts out of a single tower. So a total of 120 items per second. So that's the plane filter. We'll build a test build for that in just a second. And then the other one is going to be the quantum chips, which are going to need the plane filters, but that's okay. They're going to be on the same planet. So that should be really easy. And because they're on the same planet, we're using the smaller drones, not the larger vessels, which means my rule about 4 belts doesn't apply anymore. Not that it's going to matter, because to get 3 belts worth, to get 8 belts worth at 30 items per second, I need to have 2 belts of plane filters, 2 belts of processors to give me 1 belt of quantum chips. So that's going to be our plan. So really quickly, we're going to throw that one there, and we'll throw the other one there, roughly. We want to make plane filters, which are going to require titanium glass and cashmere crystals, and you're going to need warpers and all sorts of things, but we'll worry about that later. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on my other screen so I can refer to it. And it knows where it needs to be. I double click on it, it instantly jumps to the other screen. Okay, so we needed 2 belts of titanium glass. So titanium glass, 1 belt. stained glass 2 belts, plus 1 belt of cashmere crystals, and then an assembly machine, and feed that back in. You're going to be making plane filters, and it's literally going to be as easy as in, out, multiplied by 240. Now, I already know, because I'm smart, I've built a few builds already, that 240 assemblers is basically the whole way around the planet. Not quite, but close enough to. So what I'm actually going to be doing with this build is 1, 2, 3. We're going to come out to there, into there. Power is, I don't know, we'll worry about power later. But I'm going to end up building it like this. So hold down the Alt button, put those ones there. Rotate you all the way around. I said Alt. Thank you. And yeah, power will be, you know, power pole in there, power pole in there. You reach? Yeah, you reach. Everybody's happy. That's basically the build, okay? Which then means rather than having 240 assemblers long, it now only has to be 120 assemblers long. They're still using the same 3 belts in the middle. It is a little bit of a Swiss cheese when it comes to sorters. They are literally one on top of one another everywhere, but that's fine. The build will work. Okay, so that's that one. Next one is going to be quantum chips, which required processors and the plane filters we just made. Now, they are 2 to 2 to 2. So this one should be, let's go with input. I probably should have picked an item. Filter rather. CPU, plane filter, and plane filter, I think. Yep. Set you to processor, and then it should be a case of drop one of those on there, and then we can do, that's 4 belts. We can't reach 4 belts away. Did it? You failed. Try again. Okay, in that case, we're going to have an output for processors, an output for processors, a output for plane filters, another one for the plane filters, and then we'll do a return belt for the quantum CPUs. Subject to change. It's going to be a simple build like this. It's going to be 2 inputs. Gosh. 2 inputs, 1 output. You're going to make quantum processors, and then it's a copy, press Alt, paste. Now, I do have room, technically. No, I don't. Yes, I do have enough ports. I do have enough ports to wrap it around the back and probably do 2 of these off 1 tower. Is it worth the hassle? Probably not, to be honest. I'm probably just going to go with 1 build off a tower. Because it's still going to be 120 assemblers long, which is, funnily enough, how long that build's going to be. That is going to be 120 per side of the belt, whereas this will be just 120 for one side of the belt, and then I need to make 2 belts of them, which also means after I get it built 120 long, I can then go blueprint, select everything, thank you very much, and rotate it around and put the next build hard up against the first build. So now that I've said all that out loud, that's probably how I'm going to do it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I'll see you guys after 960 assemblers at least, because we're going to have to get this one done first. And I am going to start at the equator. I'm going to see how much room is not left after I'm done. Because that's going to be like 4 belts worth. And yeah, we are still importing rockets. We are still importing rockets from the home system. Quick look. We are only, what's that? 66,000 rockets to go, give or take, roughly. And I'm not counting how many solar cells, just not counting it. In theory, solar cell production is turned off. Well, solar cell firing. But Starkiller occasionally, because it won't listen to me, starts firing, and I don't know why. But I've just let it go. I've just let it go. All right, I'm going to see you guys in a minute. You know how the other planet was called Go Big or Go Home? I have a feeling I should have gone home. So I have 2 towers here. You'll notice 1, 2, nice and simple. Okay, which means there are at least 2 production lines, which, you know, sort of makes sense. It looks like 2 very long production lines. If you follow this way, just a small amount, just a tiny amount, you'll see 2 more towers over here. There's actually 4 production lines. All powered, as I said, with the itty bitty power poles. Yes. Yes, this is one hell of a build. It took a moment. It took a moment to put down. Let's put it that way. And the funny thing is, I have all the supplies on planet, like everything. I'm shipping in assemblers, I'm shipping in belts, I'm shipping in the sorters. I have ridiculous upgrades as far as the mech and the bots go. I really wish I could be dead centered. So I just do this whole run dead centered. Yeah, I have, well, hit tech. I have 25 construction drones that will do 3 tasks each and are flying around at 32 meters per second. It still took ages. It still took ages. And you know the best part? You know the best part? Oh, actually, the even better part is that was the equator line. So I actually started beside the equator. Man, couldn't put that tower there. It was too close. And then worked out if I moved it over a tile, it would fit fine. Originally, this belt was meant to be on this tile. I had to move it over at least 1 to get it to work, and then move it over a second one to get a substation in, so substation to power everything at the ends. And then the substation also gets power from the suns over there, which probably have to be moved, but that's all besides the point. And then realized after I placed everything down, I really want to move it up 1 tile, so that substation is dead centered on the equator line. And then realized that I actually can't fit all this crap here in my inventory. These are not full, these are completely empty. They still won't fit in my inventory. So I decided we're going to be out by tile. I'm going to leave it like that because I still need to put down, remember, each one of these is 120 per side, and yeah, go from the sunny side to the sunny side, being definitely half a planet because we're on a entirely locked planet. I still need to do this twice more for quantum processors. These ones, quantum chips. So again, I'm gonna say I'll see you guys in just a minute for you guys in YouTube land, but for me, probably an hour or 2. Just to put down like another 240 assemblers, give or take. So I'll see you guys in a sec. So, like I said, just a sec for you guys in YouTube land. Turns out, like, about 20 minutes or so in game time for me. Turns out in real time, because the game's running at half speed, it's like closer to an hour. But yes, we now have... That seems like too many. Okay, I did the maths. I think it's not too many. But even if it is, we won't have the supply to meet it, so it probably doesn't matter. But we now have quantum chips. In theory, that's 120 assemblers. It looks roughly like 120 assemblers. Maybe it's a few more, maybe it's a few less. I don't know. It's a lot of assemblers. A lot of assemblers. Did I need... Oh no, I needed 2 lots of 120. That's 240 assemblers. Yeah, that's 240 assemblers. I'm thinking of 120 because that is our last production. That is our last production line. This is the one I'm actually going to do on the southern side of the planet. Due to the lack of space on the northern side of the planet. This one I'm actually going to do with you guys. So, let's put one of those there. Before I do anything else, I just want to confirm You are going to be remote demand, storage, storage. Yeah, you're set up. Do I want to supply these? No. No, you were set up. That's going to be storage. You're going to be storage. You're going to be storage and storage, aren't you? Yes. Yes, I want to make sure I've got all my things set. They're coming in, that's local. They're coming in, that's local. Warpers. It doesn't matter if I hit remote demand because there's nothing on the planet to demand anyway. But, okay, that's our plan. Alright. So, last thing we need to do, last most critically important item is going to be the small carrier rockets, which brings me to my next problem. That's 2 items in, plus 2 items in, plus 2 items in for 1 item out. Which, in case you can't do maths, that is 6 items in, or 6 belts of items in for 1 belt of items out. That is 7. I can't get 7 belts past an assembler. So it's going to have to be one of them really fancy belt in the middle with an assembly machine. Actually, we should probably set some basic things on here. Like, I want you to make, well, it's actually bring in those, plus bring in fuel, plus bring in the quantum chips. Then you make those, and then you also have warpers. So warpers are going to be like 100. I need to give you shippies and shippies. That's going to be... I guess you can remote supply. Oh. I'm going to tower this direction, can I? Yes. Because these ones are going to be a little bit special. I'm going to want to have several towers. Why can't I put one? Okay, if I put that one there... Oh, really? But I can put it... Oh, whatever. So I'm going to want to run my rockets out of this one, into this one, into this one, into this one. So essentially I can just store up extra rockets. At least that's the maybe future plan. If the computer and game doesn't explode in the meantime. Anyway, where were we? We were making carrier rockets. That's what we're trying to do. Okay, so carrier rockets, which means I need to bring resource material number 1 out this side. Resource material number 2 out that side. Resource material number 3 out that side. And then let's do side in. And then to get around the fact that I needed 7 belts, we're basically gonna build a half a belt down the middle. So rather than building 120 assemblers total, I'm going to do 60 on this side of the belt and 60 on that side of the belt, which means if I grab you, rotate you twice, and pop you there, then I just need to probably put on the montage music because I'm going to be stretching that bit of belt, grabbing some more belt, all of it. If I grab half of that should do me, and probably half of that. Yeah, stretch out that bit of belt, and then that bit of belt, and that bit of belt, and we're doing what? 60. So we know the line above is 120. So I only need to get to about here. About here should get me. Alright. I'm going to show you guys this neat little trick really quickly. If you're running the mods, which I am going to be doing some videos on mods, explicitly what mods, sort of like a showcase video of mod. Oh, no, hang on. Cancel. We want to copy belt from that end to that end. It's got to be square at the front. I'm going to make sure I get all the right amount of belt. Let's grab all of that in a dead straight line, and then hopefully it's okay that I grabbed it in the middle. Okay, and then if I put that and overlap at one tile, it works perfectly. And then if I run to the far end, I don't know if I've reached halfway around the planet yet. Probably close to. And I grab that blueprint again, and I overlap just the end belts. Now that they're built, it'll then put down the rest. But yeah, I'm going to run some of that montage music because I'm going to have to walk along slowly whilst all these belts place, and then drag out 60 assemblers twice, and then drag through the power poles on the third run. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Well, with the last of the power poles in and everything else, I think we're done. We should now be able to do 30 rockets per second. Like, that is providing our smelting keeps up, our production lines keep up. I haven't broken anything. I haven't set up something wrong. I haven't made some giant boo-boo somewhere along the line. I need to set that down. I need to set that up. I need to set that to 100. Yeah. That'd be remote. No, that's the other way around. That one. There we go. Yeah, I should, in theory, be able to make 30 rockets per second, providing I haven't broken anything. And on top of that, this rocket build here has been clocked to do 26.6 rockets per second. And we can make 30. Now, there's nothing to stop me adding a few more rockets on. Like, we could always add in some more rocket silos. That's fine. That's a perfectly reasonable answer. And it's something we might end up doing. Our power does go from top to bottom now. Excellent. All right. But with all that said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to end the episode here. Next episode, we're going to come back. Next episode, we're going to turn this planet on. Yeah, I figure, like, I should definitely drag it out one more episode. Next episode, we're going to turn this on, which should start rapidly deploying rockets, which also means I'm going to have to wander over to Starkiller and turn Starkiller back on. You know, after we've confirmed that the rocket system actually works. But with all that said, I'm going to call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the very next episode. All right, bye.